Evening. There are people still outside. If they can just come through so that we can start. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sanibonani. Sanibonani. Njani? Khona nami igama lami nguSiphindile wakwaHlomba. From the Center for Creative Arts, the curator for the Poetry Africa Festival. Welcome to the 26th Poetry Africa Festival. The number was in my head. I'm like 16. Why am I taking us back? We already passed that number, but anyway, it's happening. Thank you so much for coming through. Would like to just bring more people in. We will open the stalls during the break time, and people can actually go and enjoy. But this time it's about poetry, so let's all come in and enjoy the poetry. So without wasting any time, I would like to call in on stage the director for the Center for Creative Arts, Dr. Ismail Mohammed, to just welcome us into this space, welcome us to
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Poetry Africa 2022, our 26th edition. Our first edition after 2 years of lockdown that's live. More than live, we are going online as well, so we are still hybrid to continue to engage our audiences that have been with us over the last 2 years when we could not gather in this particular way. I start this evening with remembering those poets that we've lost, those artists that we've lost, the writers that we've lost, the dancers, the actors, but whose memory continues to inspire us, whose work continues to inspire us. As we celebrate the 26th anniversary of the Poetry Africa Festival, we recall their work, we honor them. We did that this afternoon when we celebrated the 8th Mafikagwala Memorial Lecture. We did that on Thursday in Johannesburg, when we remember the work of Professor Kiropetse Sikhotsitsire. And we will do that on Friday when we remember the work of the late Masisi as well. We drive along the road to the university every day on the Masisi Kuneni Road, but we seldom ask, who was Masisi Kuneni? What was his legacy? What has he contributed? We hope that by including the Masisi Kuneni lecture as an annual lecture within the Poetry Africa Festival, we will be able to evoke his name, his memory, his work, and make it a living part of our consciousness. The poets that we work with and the poets that we have worked with have been an essential part of the way we shape our nation, our lives, but also our place in the global community. We're incredibly grateful to our poets whose voices of courage still remind us that ours is a fragile democracy, a young democracy, a democracy with cracks, but a democracy with still hope, an enormous amount of hope. They have the courage to call out the fault lines, but they also have the courage and the wisdom and the vision to map out the journeys that we need to take. At the Center for Creative Arts, we're incredibly grateful to the University of KwaZulu-Natal and its leadership for consciously and visionary support of the Center for Creative Arts and our work. At a time when most arts organizations were crumbling under COVID-19, with the support that we received from the university, we were able to grow 3 new festivals, in addition to our 4 long-standing festivals: the Time of the Writer Festival in March, the Durban International Film Festival in June, July, the Jumba Contemporary Dance Festival in August, and the Poetry Africa Festival that we host every year in October. Since then, we've introduced the Artfluence Human Rights Festival in May, the Jazz Appreciation Month Festival in April, and a Cabaret and Beyond Festival that extends over a few months as a mentorship training program. But we've also been able to increase our footprint in the global community through a series of partnerships and MOUs which advance our work. We've been able to bring on board a number of newer funders, but more than that, we've also been able to bring on board a series of newer partners. And I think what is also crucially important for us is that within a university environment, the challenges of COVID-19 forced us to, or it reminded us that despite the social isolation, there are other newer ways of connecting. And for us at the Center for Creative Arts, it was finding those closest to us. The Center for Jazz, the Center for African Music and Dance, the Elizabeth Snedden Theatre, the Hexagon Theatre, the Performing Arts Department. And what we see tonight is a collaboration between the Center for Creative Arts and the Center for Jazz, the Center for African Dance and Music, and the Performing Arts Department. But during the week, we also have a series of collaborations with a number of community-based partners from the city and the province. We also have a series of collaborations with partners from across the country and international partners as well. Poetry Africa this year is more than just an ordinary festival. It is an affirmation. It's an affirmation that our poets in South Africa have taken their place on the global stage with a sense of pride and victory. Many of you may have heard last week that Kabiso Vili, the winner of Poetry Africa Slam Competition 2021, competed in Brussels against 40 other poets from across the globe, and he brought home the championship award. It's an incredible success, an incredible affirmation for us about the voices and the power of the voices of our poets, but also an affirmation for us that despite some of the gloom around us, our voices will continue to inspire us and the globe. So thank you, Kabiso. I want to acknowledge the presence tonight of the president of the World Slam Competition, Philip Meersman, and your colleagues for bringing us into your fold and for allowing us all to stand as a role model as well, as winners, as champions, alongside the 40 other people from across the globe. So thank you very much for that. With this week, we are going to be having a series of partnerships. Tomorrow evening, we have a collaboration with Jakarta Media and the annual awards. On Wednesday evening, we have a collaboration with the Right to Speak project, that is the CCA project, in association with the Goethe Institute, the French Institute of South Africa, Wallonie Bruxelles, and I've left out one. Wallonie Bruxelles, the French Institute, the Goethe Institute, and who have I left out?
French, it's the Hear My Voice.
The Hear My Voice project. So join us on Wednesday evening as well. On Friday in this venue at 3 o'clock, we host the Masisi Kuneni lecture. But there's a unique part to the Poetry Africa Festival this year. Apart from the fact that we've created linkages and partnerships within our own university, but we're also exploring how we go beyond just poetry, but bring in the other genres. So you will see outside there's an installation by one of our young interns. It's a little tree with inviting you to place leaves on that tree. And we hope that by the end of this week, that tree will bloom as a full poetry. So collaborate, participate with her. The interns at our center are an integral part of our work. We have 12 interns who we take on a year-long program. We allow them to guide us, direct us, mentor us, and to be able to learn from us as well. But we do hope that by the end of the year, that when they leave us, that they would be the next generation of cultural leaders who will inspire hope in our creative and cultural sector. There's a great deal more that we can tell you. I'm not going to tell you all because I've got 5 nights of talking to you, so I'm going to do that every night a little bit and give you a little more. But right now, I want to take this opportunity to invite on stage the Dean of the School of Arts, Professor Nobuhle Hlongwa, who is our guiding light, who is the woman who supports us, who is the woman who holds the flag up for us, and who is the woman who we go to when we need to complain, and who goes and knocks on the DVC's door and gets the support. So Professor Hlongwa, thank you very much to you, and Professor Hlongwa as well, for your attendance. So over to you, Professor Nobuhle Hlongwa.
Sanibonani. Ninjani. Okay. I think it is important that I start by apologizing. It's not always a good thing to apologize, but as you can see this evening, we're supposed to be a full house, but we're not, because as the university, we are still not back on face-to-face teaching. We are still on online teaching until the end of this year. So it is only in 2023 that we will be coming back full force as an institution in terms of face-to-face teaching. So I think many of our students are still, like I think right now they are online. So that's why I do want to begin with that apology. But with that in mind, ayeye, West Africa, ayeye, ayeye, UKZN, ayeye, UJ, ayeye. Welcome once again to the Poetry Africa. That is our 26th edition. I do want to thank first our director for the Center for Creative Arts, Dr. Ismail Mohammed, for his leadership and also for steering the ship, which is the Center for Creative Arts. Thank you very much, Ismail, for the excellent work. More importantly, I do want to acknowledge and thank our curators, Mrs. Kindele Hlongwa, Kwaz Roots, as well as Karen Jumba. I think a big round of applause for our curators. Thank you so much. I do want to acknowledge the presence of Philip Mersman in our midst and the crew. Thank you so much. We are so excited about the excellent work that Abiso did in Brussels, and kudos to you and the team. A big round of applause for Philip. I do want to acknowledge all our poets who are taking part in our Poetry Africa this year, especially those who are performing tonight, but to all our poets for the 22 edition of Poetry Africa. We welcome you. I know, like we started last week in UJ, I was happy to be part of history, to be part of the partnership that we grow as the university. So I do want to acknowledge and also thank all of you on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Nana Poku, our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Nhlanhla Mkhize. They are sending their love. They're supposed to be here with us, but like they are involved in other university business. So I do want to acknowledge, before I sit down, Ismail, I do want to acknowledge our funders who have made our festivals, especially this festival, possible. The Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, the KwaZulu-Natal Department of Arts and Culture, the French Institute of South Africa, Total Energies, and I also want to acknowledge and thank all our interns. Ismail has alluded to the 12 of them who have been working tirelessly with Swindile and KwaZulu to make our Poetry Africa Festival a success. I cannot sit down without congratulating Adi. So a big round of applause for Adi. Our winner for the World Slam Poetry competition. Thank you so much, Gabi. So we're looking forward to more. And I didn't tell this to Ismail. Ismail, in addition to what you will be giving to Kabiso, I will be adding 100% of what will be given him. Yeah. 100%. As the School of Arts at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, the work that CCA is doing is fulfilling our strategic goals as the university. One, which is community engagement, and the second, that one of internationalization. The partnerships that we have created locally and internationally are very important to us as the university. And I'm so glad that this year, in addition to the Mafiga Afala lecture that we heard this afternoon, we will be having the Mazasugunene lecture on Friday. So for that, I thank you. I thank you very much, CCA. I thank you very much, Poetry Africa. So enjoy this evening. Yeah. So looking forward to what our artists will be sharing with us.
Got a special request. Can I just be your friend until the money is spent? Just for control. But I can look after it for you? Sure. So today is a special show. It's all about us, women, our greatness, our brilliance, our beautiful bodies and souls. It's all about us. So we've invited you guys to actually come through, especially males, to listen to our words, our powerful words. And we're hoping that you'll be moved and transformed through the work that the poets are going to be sharing on this platform. So today we have Philippa Yadivillius, I can't wait. I think I'm going to exit the stage because I'm not a poet and it's very clear. My words are so limited, so you can speak. Yeah? So I would like to kick off this evening with the beautiful Miss Philippa Davidius.
Good evening so much for the opportunity to perform here tonight. I would just like to introduce my friend, Ernest Dawkins. Please put your hands together. Ernest was a great friend of my next door neighbor, Zimwawana. Zimwawana, who's also from here. So Zim, we're here in the house. I wanted to start with an angry poem. But then I said, no, you look in such a good mood. Let's not take you there yet. So we're going to start with a sweeter one. Timer, 15 minutes. Right. Breast summer. At first, I barely noticed you. The double kiss of nipples, dot, dot, on the flat, brown, free state of my little girl body. Like buds that swell in spring, my body opened. A flower, handfuls ripened to cupfuls, and the full bounty of my own homegrown life support system flowed over a breast summer, showcasing suitors like eyes and shoes. I wore their eyes, accessorized my self-esteem. Only in a mirror framed by shame, I named you too small, too big, uneven, ugly. This body curves around creation. It is the work of mighty nature. It is my land. I live here. I rename the elements these days. I found in phrases beautiful, holy, vital, divine, warm, nurturing, fertile, mine. Sky seasons pass, and I keep turning this sweet earth, planting hope in even furrows, savoring the harvest. Hell in a handbag. My mother's handbag matched her earrings, matched her shoes. From time to time, she lectured me on universal truths. Truth number one, your body is a temple, and matching clothes impose a doctrine, organized religion. Truth number two, a woman always knows. Aloud, I wondered what the hell that meant. Impatiently, her pocket vanity, reflecting puckered lipstick, narcissistic, she replied, you'll understand when you grow up. Truth number three, it's she who decides, the woman. Only power, like perfume, should be sensed rather than smelled. She powdered her nose and said, truth number four, discretion is the better part of virginity. Everybody knows that a lady knows that a secret is a weapon. So I told her one. Mother, at 6 years old, I was raped. Her blue eyes wide, she replied, that's terrible, dear. It's happened to all of us, my child. We must throw it in the dustbin and only keep the good memories. We must move on. Move on. Truth number 6. We didn't speak about it again. It became an accident. And talking torn up the dustbin.
to reveal the mess of broken flesh, the chaos of emergency, the onlooker of faces painted blue, red, yellow, white by the absent ambulance lights, complexions bruised by curiosity. Truth number 7. At 18, I felt pregnant. She said to me regretfully, "You've lost your innocence." And I replied, "Save it for the deathbed, darling. This woman knows that innocence has gone to hell in a handbag, matching dustbin, matching earrings, matching silence. Lips painted shut, pain blown into discreet tissue and discarded like mucus. I have knelt at mother's knee, imbibing certainty like milk, and the milky wine has gone sour because of universal truths. Truth number 8. I have grown, and now I know that power, unlike perfume, is only power when it's felt. A smashed bottle on the bathroom floor is not the sweet sense of surrender, but a broken child who is never held. The truth is not a token. I've set fire to the temple. The words shout out in tongues. The words you left unspoken. Sometimes the anger is the beginning of the voice. And then it's the recognition of things that we share. Amputee. A man with an empty sleeve reminds a woman of empty rooms, red tears, residues of dreams. She wants to ask him, even though his arm is no longer there, does it still itch? On rainy days, does it hurt? How did it happen? And how are you now? And she wishes he would ask the same. Can a child who is never born still laugh? And when will it stop crying? She imagines how painful it is for him, ground zero, that blasted hole torn open, the invisible river of loss, the way that all the armfuls of tomorrow kind are gone. Amputee, woman, something missing that only they can feel. Oh, come on. Thank you, guys. So, thank you. Repeat after me. Life is a language lesson. The child discovers what I am called is not who I am. A name is a fence around a field of nodding concepts. Wildflowers, birds and bees, ecosystem, easy come, easy go, back to where you belong. Putsa! What is black? To become, one has to first be. I create a shape that then starts to fall apart. A continent with a bulge, a horn, and a cape theatrical. A brown land am I, lazing under clouds, taking deep sips of the sky. In days, grassroots digging into me,
become what first has to be. Becoming an earthquake shatters the horizon, a fortress collapses into the sea, an explorer discovers a decaying trunk filled with scrolls that disintegrate as they come to light. I am excavating my frozen tongue, a mummified Neanderthal. Intimate civilizations roam uncharted territory. What is black? To become one first has to be. With my whole heart. We need to get a black audience to read the scripts. Make sure we're getting the messages right, says the client. I'm here, I venture, and she says, no, you don't count. She's right, of course I don't count. Because I didn't grow up in a township. I'm not shut out by poverty or language damned in antiquity, purposely, relentlessly unseen. I don't belong in a black demographic. In a white demographic, I don't belong. Nor in a colored demographic, do I belong Indian or another color? I don't belong in demographics. Occupy Cappuccino is not a revolution, but an opening volley of ironic intent, because I'm preoccupied with connecting with whatever is meant. Because I want Fanon and Shakespeare prescribed in schools, because my version of cultural investment is to take in and consume voraciously responses to the colony and the post-colony, to watch for flares shot up by incoherent nights, to listen as complaining cracks open in songs and writing bleeding letters you can read from the sky. Lady, what will it take for you to see I and I? Trigger warning, this is a crime scene. This following poem is inspired by a crime scene. It's called Don't Mention the War. Don't mention that your grandparents escaped gas ovens. Think of something nice to say. Anyway, it was long ago, and you still hear all of it. Don't mention the men in balaclavas who beat your husband in front of your 3-year-old child before locking you in the boot of your car. Crime brings down property value, so don't mention it. Don't mention marijuana and who gets what. Don't try to come up with any claim for theory of poverty, crime to poverty. You've never been poor, so make do with your lot. And don't mention the robbers who crossed the double stand of your 3-bedroom farmhouse and dragged you out of your dream under the duck-down duvet. You pinched your lips together while they dragged you around the house, demanding money, and kicked away the teacher's salary and your wallet because it was not enough. Don't mention that you looted your child's money box for the $100 that your aunt in the US sent her in increments of $5 per birthday and Christmas for the past 5 years. Don't mention their misfortune to the child. She'll be furious. Don't mention that they tied you up and threatened to shoot you, and there was no sign of a gun, and they looked kind of young and foreign. And don't mention that after they left, you dragged yourself and the chair you were tied to the panic button and pressed it with your chin. And the security company took 40 minutes to come until you had ample time to think. And what you thought over and over is, oh, wonderful, I'm alive. Wonderful, I'm alive. Well, it's two really, because it's a kind of a joke poem, and then stolen poem is okay. So I think that will do us for the 2 minutes. to get away from all of that intensity, right? So this is a Troyville poem. I come from Troyville, which is in a city suburb in Johannesburg. Guillotine. Louis wouldn't kiss me when I gave him that blowjob. Said he couldn't do it to his wife. Kiss the only for the woman he loves, says Bella. That guy, who's Gloria, he gave me an STD. My finger was so sore I could hardly walk. He doesn't even know that she gave it to him. What? Yeah, she's doing Orlando. Louise's wife walks in at the door. Hello, ladies. Can we go, please? Sure, madam, says Gloria. The basin is free. Would you like to take a seat? Bella, make the madam some tea. Louise's wife lies back on the sink, her neck all open, like she's on the guillotine. That is 15 minutes, guys. That's it. I'd like to call on stage Roche Kester.
For sure.
Quiet, listen, and let the poet speak. Lend your ears and let the poet speak, please, and ease your fears. Let the poet speak and enlighten your mind. Let the poet speak and watch your soul rise effortlessly, like it was always meant to do. Armed with nothing but words, the poet navigates this world with sound and rhythm, stopping metaphors and similes, unearthing sacred verses you never dreamed to exist. Resist if you must, you there in that dark room. Your only wish is entertainment, but if you open yourself, you'll find an arrangement of things you already know. Prose now becoming poems, replanting seeds already sown, constructed for you by the poet to help your spirit grow. Let the poet speak, and as your heartbeat mimics the content, pulses the history, embraces your being, praise the poet for their work and their meaning. Like the ancient soothsayers of yesteryear, where crowds gathered to decipher, to denote, and uncode the wisdom imparted from their lips. Let the poets speak, but not in vain. Reflect, respect, and understand their pain, their hopes, their dreams, their need to stand nakedly in front of you, reciting to you things they just have to say, hurts that have come their way, that bled and lay internally until they are staged for you. Let the poet know you agree or you disagree. Indicate that you've cognized their right, their art, their time in crafting and drafting each sentence to share with you a poem that's just so pressing, it left inside it would fester, and the poet would surely die. Let the poet speak and see nations rise to their feet. An army clad in harmony, protesters upholding banners that lead down with hatred and division. Hear the poet out when you're dealing with loss. That private place that only you, God, and the poet knows. Let the poet reassure you that it will be all right. That when your world plummets and falls, just hold yourself tight to make it right. Let the poet right that wrong, and perhaps not pleasantly, but as time suspends, your hurt will too, replaying continuously, repetitively the poet's words to you. Let the poet remind you what it's like to be in love. Provide those delicate images, those blissful ideologies, the belief in second possibilities. Let the poet's words dance in your joy, arc the corners of your mouth, recount the preciousness of your life. Let the poet speak. But dear poet, when they let you speak and tweak their minds, be ready that your words can ignite or spite, heal or deride with every word you recite. If you are the poet, honor the privilege, the platform, the hour, devour each passing moment they let you speak, eating their time like your last meal, intend to make them feel the best way you can, for you are the poet. And though they may not know it, they will always waiting to hear you speak. Hi, everybody. Hi. Well, Poetry Africa. It's so good to be here to be sharing some poems. So, Afrikaans is the black language. That's it. Tong in die long, tongue in the lung, a deliberate way to breathe. My tongue sounds like the Transvaal fixed in dialect. By a place I've never been, never seen, it is foreign. My mouth rounds and stretches as if it had swallowed a whole farmer. That farmer who owned the land where my grandfather labored. That one that stole the land in the Boerland that my uncle owned. It sounds like the Huisgenoot, like SABC 2, like Carter van der Merwe, like an episode of Noord-Vernoot where I didn't quite get the later key. It sounds like treason to myself. Nothing like my mother's tongue, something like my mother's tongue, but fast-fed, too light, too heavy, too instructional to be my own. My tongue betrays my skin. My skin is enemy to my words. My words sound like triggers to 76. It sounds like sermons built on unclear gags. It sounds like generational psychosis. It sounds like funerals. I wish my tongue a more digestible Afrikaans, an African chance to unswallow the sound of pain. If it was more Cape Flats than Free State, Vrystaat would mean something different than vermaak. For compliments from thieves who ask, hoe praat jy so mooi Afrikaans? My tongue does mean code for survival, coding to survive. But too much mandatory textbook and compulsory have undone this tongue, my mother's tongue, not my mother tongue. And now I carry only ghosts in my mouth, from places that I've heard of and never been to, that walk trauma from my mouth, beyond my heart, to your ears, too well, te goed, te suiwer, too Afrikaans. Okay, so Philippa asked, what is black? I'm like, but why are we so scared of black? The looming, the moving, the fear that it might attack our minds, our souls, our skin, trickling, itching into our being, leaving the mark of despair. Fair, all we aspire to when the color of this continent is black. A black thread connecting from Cape to Cairo, but still, denotations grow and connotations grow, and old beliefs will not let go of black as a savage force seeking to control. Black, the soul, the color of coal and oil, which gives rise to economic science, but yet we toil and deny that black supplies our roots. A mold of the people of early times, of unity, simplicity, when all that existed was black. Black, black, I am black. I wear my black and I swear my black. I track my black skin and see neglect retold, past with its unfold in the wide leaping black. I embrace my black and it enveloped me like shadows attached, loud, proud, because black don't crack. Dark is lovely. Black is beautiful, mysterious, yet definitive, not abstract. But the name of black has been blackened by black people who have driven back the name of black, where Africans seek to be South Africans. Black is colored lighter and colored is colored whiter, all out of spite of black. And every definition of black has become abject. Black hole, black sheep, black magic. So tragic that we are so scared of that. Like looming, like moving, a sordid past we deny when we deny our heritage of. So I'm gay.
Jackpot.
Yeah, I really love women. It's really easy to. When I was 15, I won the prize in my grade. I won the history prize in my grade. I knew 91% of the history they had taught us. Demanded a remark when one paragraph was marked unjustly. In parrot fashion, I recited the history I'd been taught, word for word. Elephant memory always did well in Africa. My father was my teacher. He liked history, facts. This became a battle of intellect. But he had spawned an offspring who would seldom understand. My vocabulary was to bask in, he said. He requested simpler linguistics. Here I wish I spoke only Afrikaans, om meer ernstig voor te kom. But Daddy, we live two different histories. My era permitted singing, I am every woman, though we were taught that you are the man of the house. My childhood was clad in black. They called me Kaffepoppy, black doll, modeled and undone every time you use the word dark. I was Sarafina. I only knew songs of freedom. You were happy to just be free of the struggle in this warped democracy. This freedom is enough for you. You hate injustice but still vote ANC. And you always say, do not criticize the president, it would hurt you indefinitely. I loved a girl, loved her. I was young, but I knew that I loved her. In every relationship, I now have to come out. I have to disclose. And in our home, this communication is unsung. This elephant visible under the carpet but ignored. I wish he had paid witness to me when I argued ethics in my first year of university. There too, I knew 92% of an open-ended subject. I have since created my own ethics, Dad. Ethics that differ from yours. You will not listen to my weekly LGBTI life or necessities, but you should adhere for pep talks or good old interviews. How have we lived different histories? Is it because I am in her story? Somehow I know I come from strength, and you have come from nothing. You have built us, you have imagined us, me, my sister, my brother, the greatest gift in one word, siblings. Some of our family still lives in nothing, some of them always will, by means of your God or mine. You have made a home for our family. We are something. We are not perfect, but we are something. You love our mother. You love us. Your life story in courtly love, a romantic love, and weekly drove your bicycle over the bridge to visit our mother in her lounge through crime and poverty kind of love. It is hard to decipher though if your love for me is selective. Do you only love the parts of me that reflect you? Do I only love the parts of you that reflect me? Or will you ever love unconditionally, collectively? Do you still tell your colleagues the convention? Will you always remain hushed on the revolutionary? I wish our histories and ethics could meet at the same space to affirm that we are akin after all. Until then, the rewriting of the story will always happen until there are no longer elephants in the room. How can your own poetry make you want to cry, man? That is that. That is that thing. Then counsel on standby. Okay. So as a woman in this country, we are always in danger. I am a survivor of sexual assault. And when I spoke about it on public platforms, I was like harshly interrogated. It's like, okay, but why were you there? What did you do? Give us every detail of this trauma so that we can believe you. This is called, and mind you, this individual was also a poet who then went on platforms to perform work about GBV. And mind you, I'm not the only one that this has happened. This is whisper in the wind. To shout the name would mean nothing. It fills my mouth with dust. My voice is now a desert chord, an inhalation of pain. I will still be a memory-jarred, soul-tainted, body violated, barely afloat in trauma. Having to explain, validate the time, the date, the state of mind, forced to imagine it over and over again, like it were happening now, like an excavation of a burial in my past, when I would rather forget. To say that your phase of them too is a blip in the ocean, a whisper in the wind, a dull headache behind the eyes, an emptying of yourself first, walking scarlet-littered, a shame now coined brave, then reduced to a hashtag invisible in the masses when you say hashtag me too. But it did happen, and the words cannot escape. It hurts the throat, violates the mouth, desecrates everything. You made them free, you know celebrity, no national news, just statistic. Their allies would avoid your name like the plague, like it never happened, like you made it up, like the truth is only held in your ribcage, like your lungs still inflate the same. They do not. So you try. You just try every day, but no one will let you. Parading pain like each story is the same. They make you a whisper in the wind, so you won't. You just don't breathe too loud. You make no sound, hoping it will expel itself some way, someday, somehow.
Sure.
Last one. The vagina. Give it up. What do you mean? Give it up, give her up, just like that. Disregard her as if she deserves no respect. Just to inform you, the only thing that will occur when I'm secure that the language is pure, and even more so that every part of me is sure. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not prissy or pompous, but my pussy needs fluid talk. Passionate, poetic, articulate conversations, soulful words, powerful chatter, an art of rhetoric consisting of intellect and mutual respect, because these lips don't speak to just anyone. These lips are not to be shouted at or imposed upon. They come with assurance, natural lubricant, a poised predicament, a tight little set. I'm talking about premium puss. Top of the range, not big shades of vulgar language to satisfy only him and his scene. No profanities are allowed when speaking to her. No jihadi conversation that is short-lived and lacking in content. The words have to be well-spent, eloquent, well-expressed. Now I know and I've heard that the initial conversation is not that inviting, not even enticing, awkward, unstable, even a bit painful, but I choose the love and would understand that approach me with a murmur, a whisper, listening to the colors of my body's gesture. Their voice would be sensual and smooth, no babbling or sentences that are misconstrued. They prove themselves a cunning linguist, await my call, my indication that I'm pleased with their stimulation, and yes, it may be a mindful fantasy. I've got standards. this Gucci has standards. And this is our speech. So no, I'm not full of shit just because I won't give it up. And no, I'm not a self-righteous bitch who thinks purity gives moral security. And no, I'm not going to die with my virginity. And frankly, I don't give a damn if you call me a bitter hag and say that I can't get a man or a woman. It's a choice of quality, because not any Tom, Dick, or Mary is going to infiltrate the sanctity of my punani. So, if you feel that you have to do too much walking to get to her, get to walking, sir, because her and I, we find about you. Thank you.
I don't know what to say after that. But I know Rosa gave you shade. Next up on stage, Vandile Gam. It's Poetry Africa. 2022 in Durban. And how is it? Silama namhlanje. Siyabulela kakhulu. You could have been anywhere today and you choose to be here with us. We appreciate that. This is a love letter. Sometimes it's tough love. It's honest love. It's true love. This is my love letter to Black South African women. This is how the women gather. They move steadily beneath the men before the sun awakes. They have clay on their faces and their voices do not whisper. They are not hiding. They carry money that is paper, and some carry eggs. They carry rice and maize meal, and they have come to pray over their children's lives. This is how the women move while the men are sleeping, while the men shout and give orders and the hem comes undone. These are the women who move without showing their legs. There is a lingering smell of fire and rain in the air, not smoke. The smell of burning to come, the smell of rain in the clouds. The brewing storm of small girls coming has arrived. I am told my grandmother was a woman of the spirit, that the wind carried her off a cliff, flung her straight into the water where I was born, wrapped in the skin of the snake. I stayed underwater for 60 days before I met my mother. In a burning hut on a mountain she could enter, only to fetch me and put me down, was allowed only to then return me to the fire. I'm told lungs are made of water. Inside my breasts, they say when a wind and the cliff, she must learn to trust breath underwater. Umama and I have never truly touched.
a God of someone's God has all kept us apart. Heard her prayers, me in the water. Xa sisenza inguqulo, funeka silandele abantu abadala, engetheni kukomkhulu ngeendawo. Sicela abantu abadala basityhile amehlo, basiqoqe intlawela, sihamba nabantwana nabantu abadala. Kukho abakhwetha abafuna emanzini, ootata abaphethe umqombothi neebhokhwe, kukho oodadobawo aboyiswa yimilenze. Yonke into, wonke umntu funeka ewelile. USnowelile wathathwa ngamanzi ngalaa nyaka wemvula eninzi. Zange saphinda samfumana. Ithi laa nto, xa abantu beza kwenza inguqulo, bayazila, bacenge izihlwele, bacele abantu abadala, badibane ngeentloko, bacenge abantu abadala beziduko, bajike bajonge ekhaya, ukuze abantu baphile, izinto zikhanye, kuvuleke. Inguqulo zange yenziwa ngumntu omnye. There is a room in the house we share that neither of us may enter. We had not noticed it before when we used to talk. Now the silence rattles the door, a gentle back and forth against the frame while we sleep. Inside, a pair of black gumboots covered in mud soils a brown carpet with a single stain. A dark patch, blood or ink maybe, in the middle of a room. A half-burnt candle melted into an empty jar of baby food. No bed. We blame the silence for the room we do not open. We share a bed on which we never touch. Our roof leaks. We do not fix it. The mold on the corner of the ceiling is the only conversation this house knows. Small girl with moths in her mouth speaks anger in glances, knows the dagger of words. Small girl, big voice, knows how earthquakes begin. In the rumbling of her stomach, entire families collapse. Small girl cares too much for such a small girl. Small girl with treacherous eyes carries too much feeling in her lungs, knows the sting of lonely. Small girl sees too much, breathes too much, takes up too much air. Small girl is too much mirror and expectation, too much wanting more. Small girl should know better than to try to fight the sun. Small girl with hands of spades. Small girl dreams too much, hopes too much, wants to plant and grow. Small girl thinks she is the ocean. Small girl is a stream. Small girl will break her heart with all this want. Small girl is not even the wind. Small girl must learn to swallow and be pretty. Boys will be boys. Small boys is sharpened by the shoe of big boys, and small boys uses his shoe on all girls. And all girls must learn to cook and fetch water and make fire and care for babies. Otherwise, all girls will become bad mothers, and no one marries bad mothers. And when they drink, big boys pick Smarties, and the Smarties know that they must drink enough only to be friendly, but never enough to join in the dancing. All girls knows how to joke and fight and protect herself. All girls knows that midnight is the last bottle to fall, and there is no glass slipper, and the horseman will ride her if she does not leave. Sometimes, even if she does, big boys is smallest boys in big pants, and big boys never learned to cook for himself, and all women is all girls at all times, and the rain makes everyone wet. When the girl enters her Jesus year, Umakulu wraps a string of white beads around her head. The girl first sees the beads before she is born, and then again in a poem. The girl is told that if she does not remember, she will be sick. When she remembers, the girl is told that if she does not speak, she will be sick. When she speaks, the girl is told that with her tongue, she may be fire, and she may be water, and she may be wind. She is told that no one can escape the burn of a fire. When the rot is deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. When the roots of the tree begin to decay, it spreads death onto the branches. If you pick up one end of the stick, you also pick up the other. No matter how beautiful and well-crafted a coffin might look, it will not make anyone wish for death. Umakulu cannot enter her house. All her children are returned to dust. Her house is not locked. Her house does not have a door. Utywala smells of milk. Ngemini yokutshisa amathambo, ekuseni ngexesha lebhekile, umakazi passed away. Her sister watched her breath leave her body. Mna ndandisemva komkhusane. Uthi omnye umakazi, yayingathi kuqoshalaza indoda endala. She asked me about the wind, if I heard the dogs howling outside the door. Abantu abadala bazolinda wena, avukile. It's time. I am tired. Every morning I wake up carrying a baby. She is always crying. Her eyes glaze past me. She can see I am not a mother. She can see the knot in my back has not uncoiled. I am not well. I am not ready to be her mother. She tries to suckle my breast. My milk is slow. She will not wait for me to get well. She will not wait for me to grow into her mother. Athi amagqirha amakhulu azokucela umntana. Umakazi uhambe engekayibisi ibhokhwe yakhe. Oko wayesebenzisa amayeza ngetyala. How do I wash a stain that is not on a cloth? Ndifuna ukusebenzisa amayeza wakhe. Umama says abantu must pass their hand under their armpit and give it to the baby when they approach. She says this will allow the baby to see the person for who they really are. I cannot go to amagqirha. I'm not scared. I'm tired. I will not be well until I go. I cannot convince my child to love me when I am unwell. I have not had a drink since I knew she began growing inside me. The smell of vodka will not leave my milk. I will never be sober enough to be her mother. I brew utywala when she is 3 months old. She may leave the house now. I will slaughter a goat before her 3rd birthday. Her father's mother has been visiting her since before she was born. She cannot meet her because her son is also running away from the ocean. I worry about this child, born of 2 unwell people. I worry that uzakutwala. I want to drink. I'm embarrassed by my breath. Umama says I should learn to pray. A mother must always know how to pray for her children. Umagazi akekho. Something frozen catches the wind, whispers maybe into the rain, chanting, humming far away, a brewing storm of small girls coming, the knot, the blindfold in the maze, the lonesome table with the plastered leg, the same beggar, 2 rand without a face, small girl women playing hopscotch on the roof. The women wear black and red. They walk the country and spill over the borders. They carry placards. Some say Tubulisende, others plead for their lives. And at 1 p.m. they are a single wave crashing onto the rocks. No cars may pass. No birthday may proceed. This is a total shutdown at the intersection of queer and black and woman. There is a shambok and a chain. The fees must fall. The shadows and their fingers cannot find the shambok in the bathroom, so they beat her in the street. The shambok is unafraid. She is 100 waves crashing against a rock on another road in a city across the mountain. A woman inks a machine gun between her shoulder blades. We will take our land back. We will fight. There will be a victory and there will be a loss. There is too much desert between our blood and no apology. These waves are older than us. There are 20,000 waves of 1956, silent waves of sand and saliva, building homes, raising children, putting food on the table. They are forgotten waves, birthing warriors, threatening to obliterate it all. For too long, these waves have been queen and mule, hungry and providing, sexualized and threatening. These waves expected to cook meals they cannot enjoy, clean houses they cannot live in, sew clothes they cannot wear. Enough! These waves are silent, and this wave is growing. My mother is a woman who never forgets to pray. God has been her north since she was 13 years old. I think God is why she remains kind, why she has not turned into the venom this world has tried to make her. She is a woman who plays with her grandchildren, a woman covered in sand, jumping on a bed with a 5-year-old. My mother is tired. And my mother is many faces. My mother is the face of unconditional love. She is how I have known that God is true. Oh. There is an old woman across the river. She is made of sand and fire, carrying a child on her back. I cannot reach her. She has burnt the river dry. The mud is buried, turned angry, swallows rocks and children who still believe in water. It has not rained in 3 full moons. Small girl is no longer a child. The old woman does not break her back carrying her. She carried rocks and built a house in another life. Small girl is singing. Tears are falling from her eyes. She is tired. Her feet do not touch the ground. I tell the old woman to sit her into the river. Small girl's feet will bring peace between the burning sand woman and the water.
Oh. Siyabonga kakhulu Sisibani. Next on the stage, we'd like to call in Mama Diana Ferraz. The opening video of Poetry Africa at 3 p.m. this afternoon, you would know that she was the legendary featured poet for this year's Poetry Africa Festival. And she gave us such a great keynote speech. Welcome, Sage.
Thank you for the opportunity. Ishma, Ide, the whole crew, thank you. I want to dedicate my performance tonight to a great South African passed away this week, a great native from KwaZulu-Natal, Cheryl Roberts. I once lost a few of my poems. She was not only a great sports administrator, sports person, she also supported Black women poetry and had a little magazine, Sparkling Women. I once lost this poem and looked at the Sparkling Women magazines, and there I found the poem. This is for you, Cheryl. Saki's cry. Oh, mother, I'm not me. My soul has been lost in this journey. Here where the clouds hardly leave the sky, the sun never appears to kill the light. Oh, mother, it's just not my soul they've torn apart. It is my very heart. They call me savage, they call me raw, they call me names I haven't heard before. It's only in the wee hours of the night that the fluid in the bottle makes my body right. In my dreams, I see our mountain with its foot in the bay, our springbok, our eland, our wildebeest at play. How we run up the hill so steep, go dive for fish in the ocean so deep, and I cringe, oh mother, I die to think we all have been caught up in this life. When next you do your dance to the sun, please remember your forgotten ones. Hold your hands high up to the sky. Send me the wings so that I may fly. Dark red flowers. These flowers, they said, don't last. Their dark red petals die minutes after being cut. Their color pales into nothing. But I picked them. I picked them for her, whom I needed clothes like flowers she loved, like dark red flowers. She must be a flower now. I picked them for her and felt her smile. In conversations with my mother, I ask her if she can remember how she plaited my hair. So tight, my eyes pulled up, sideways. But I know now, she wanted me to look neat, to look pretty. She told me to walk upright, shoulders straight. Now I wish that we had moisturizer, sunblock, and shampoo to iron out those lines so matured on her face too soon, the lifelong battles battered her skin. Now that I can afford to mirror myself, hands full of cream and products to protect me, I so wish I could have protected her.
Sure.
Let me get done with my mother. My mother was a storm. My mother was a storm, a sky filled with dark clouds. She could threaten or just burst open. She gave warnings before she lashed. Her thundering tongue uprooting old dead trees, theories. My mother cleaned with an iron duster. She swept away all dirt and falsehoods. My mother risked having a name tarnished, but could not be tainted. I didn't want her to see her rain down so freely. She had to stop before it got too bad. I feared drowning. I feared those floods that had me gasp for air. I thought my mother was too intense a winter. I knew she carried the summer, but one in which flashcards we. Oh, but how I long for that storm now. A fierce and all-encompassing one. These days in which hard rocks bash, tear at skin and soul, I wish my mother could enter the sky and with an angry wind, the clouds rain down hard and dissolve those rocks intact. So today I need my mother. Songs I never sang for you, for my mother Anne. I never sang a love song. I always thought it were in my sex. As it came around to you, I thought your violet eyes and sideways smile were good enough music between us. I brought gifts you displayed. There was a rhythm in your voice, a pitch I recognized, a sweet note I savored when your eyes were dancing. But today, I wondered if you could tell that I was an alto, that I could float between soprano and bass, and that deep in my heart, I carried scales, choruses, and solos, songs I never sang for you. Looking for one. Okay, this is about me. I'm not only what I am now. I'm not only what I am now. I'm not only my past. I'm not only the size 4 shoe with a broken heel and so. I'm also the ankle boots of last winter. I am the sleeveless dress of this summer, the sunglasses of the 4 seasons to come. But most of all, I'm the skinny jeans of next year. The mini skirt of a future fashion. I'm the leather coat of 5 winters to come. I am the writer of a song, one that teenagers hum. I am the words that adults shout. I am ageless. Just don't carve out the box for me. Erase the expiry date. I am walking, although in softer shoes, my steps are firm. Expect me, expect of me a cloudburst, a hailstorm, even a drought. I will keep on shaking this earth. New. It's 10:15. An old day moving into a new morning. She is counting her years, her days, the past. She was told not to count into the future. There is not enough. But she feels new, like a dress, bought at a price that no one could guess. She sees the cotton pickers, hands stung by thorns. She sees the yarn spun by spinners, patterns woven by the weavers, and the cutter delicately cutting around her waist, her shoulders, low down the neck, and the machinist gently stitching until she sees her son. She, a new dress, not to be measured in time. Two last ones. This is for Maya Angelou. How do I move beyond your words? Your words are wars waged inside the pockets of the rich, in the bellies of the poor. Your words are not guns, mortars, self-made bombs, or misdirected missiles. Your words die from the sky, like a bird, not to feed off the ground, but to bring from the heavens enough to feast on for a long day and a cold night. Your words are snuggly slippers, fine around the edges, fitting a frozen food, slowly heating a clogged artery. Your words walk on waters, sail the narrow straits. Your words are the universe, the earth, the departed. You were words. It's all about money. Here she steps ashore, her feet touching the shallow water. The depth of its cold has her shivering. She has been shifted from south to north. And to ease the shock, she desperately clutches the tortoise-shell necklace stuffed with buchu. It eases the lump in her throat. Thank you.
Next on stage, hello, Mana.
Hey, Nana!
Hello, Mana. Let's welcome on stage Mana Pugajo from Argentina.
Hola.
Hola.
You have to give me just 1 second. Right?
Yeah.
Because it just says, just one big breath. All of us, please. Okay. Thank you. Big for everything, for bringing me here. It's not a good thing when a poet is at a loss of words. I'm going to do something that usually performance poets don't do, which is explain the poems or have a little of a reference, because I'm going to perform in Spanish. So I don't want for you to be completely clueless about what I'm going to say. This is a triptych poem that I wrote about first my father, which is like a topic. It's okay. Yeah, he's my grandfather. As a poet, he's my grandfather. The second part is a call to all heterosexual women to be okay with the fact that I already had sex with all of their men. And the third part is the third part. Yeah, back when I just slept with men. And the third part is actually me paraphrasing one of my favorite parts of one of my favorite books, a novel by Kurt Vonnegut called The Sirens of Titan. I'm going to set the timer. So I'm going to set it forever. Brasil, en el 1-1. Tengo 4 años y me llevan a conocer al mar. Le pregunto a mi papá, papá, ¿algún día se van a acabar las olas? Y para siempre, en cada cumpleaños, en cada reunión familiar, papá se ufanará de aquel día en que su nena preguntó una poesía. ¡Mi nena preguntó una poesía! ¡Mi nena preguntó una poesía! Pero yo le estoy preguntando algo mucho más concreto. Yo quiero saber si ahora que descubro esta textura nueva que me toquetea y sin preguntarme nada, si ahora que disfruto por primera vez de estar en esta mugre compartida, si ahora que sé que la sal me quita peso, va a venir alguien a decirme que esto se tiene que terminar. Porque en mi conocimiento empírico de nena, yo sé que basta con que te estés divirtiendo. Basta con que le estés pasando bien para que venga un idiota de más de 1,60 a decirte que tenés que hacer otra cosa. ¡A comer! ¿Me estás sacando del agua para ir a comer? ¿Qué clase de miope emocional compara algo que hacemos para no morirnos con algo que hacemos para sentirnos vivos? Esos sanguchitos de padre divorciado de fin de semana que me tengo que poner el protector. Porque si no, mañana me va a arder. A mí que me importa el mañana, papá. El mañana no existe. Mujeres heterosexuales del mundo no tienen nada que temer. Yo ya me los cogí a todos y ellos las aman a ustedes. Mi mañana del día después es eso que ustedes llaman relación monogámica. Yo soy el perito moreno del amor. Antes de mí, ustedes no tenían fronteras. Pero en Mercurio, en las cavernas amarillas del planeta Mercurio, habitan unas criaturas llamadas armoniums. Tienen la forma de un barrilete sin cola y tienen una ventosa en cada ángulo y con ellas se posan en las cavernas de Mercurio para absorber la canción del planeta. Los armoniums no sienten envidia, ni indignación, ni deseo sexual. Y tienen un mensaje muy chiquito. El primero responde al segundo, el segundo responde al primero. El primero es, aquí estoy. segundo es, me alegro de que estés. Me alegro de que estés. Me alegro de que estés. Another sin that I'm going to commit tonight is that I'm going to read from my phone. It's unelegant, but I slept a very long nap today and I didn't bring my phone. It's true. Before I read this poem, I like to say that I don't think I had the imagination to dream what is going on tonight. And I feel privileged, and as you will see in a couple of minutes, well, actually, maybe not because it's in Spanish, sometimes it's hard for me to convince myself that I am what I need to be, that I am what I am, with a constant work. And I'm glad that this has been like a slap in my face. I cannot even question it, but just have to live it. Thank you. This poem is called El savoir-faire del baño. It's a poem that I wrote to my bathroom. I know, but like you can write poems about anything these days. There's no standards. And it's about how I discover orgasms thanks to the bidet. Do you know the bidet? I spent so much time in there. Descubro el orgasmo en el bidet de casa, la casa en la que viví más tiempo. Es un cortocircuito de otro tipo de corriente. Una vez metí los dedos en un portalamparita de un velador muñeca que no sabía que estaba enchufado, así que yo ya sé qué es la electricidad. El bidet me resetea hermoso, solo yo sé el tesoro del bidet. Y como todo lo lindo o lo terrible, no hay que decírselo a nadie. El baño es mi lugar preferido, el lugar cotidiano que me está tratando de matarme. Ahí ensayo mis respuestas espontáneas a la felicidad imaginada en la que todo me sale estupendo o en la que lloro real la muerte de gente inventada. El bidet, el espejo, la puerta que se cierra con tranca. Yo soy oriunda del baño. And I'm going to do now, I think I have the time, another triptych, but this is, the bookends are songs that I wrote. And this is about depression. The song is about how even the people who love you the most sometimes cannot believe that depression exists. So I wrote a song for them. Then it's the poem about me wishing that it would end. And especially it's a poem about the inner voice that I've been living with. It's like a bully that I carry that has like a visa for every country that I have a visa for. And so I wrote a song, a lullaby, to put it to sleep when I understood that voice is actually mine. That I couldn't part with that voice. That voice is as much as me.
as the other voices that tell me that I belong in this planet. So I'm going to make myself cry. Okay. No me hagas ni pensar lo grande que es el mundo. Estoy atada a la cama. No hay a dónde ir, lo dice el prospecto. Prefiero creerle a la ciencia. Olor a perro limpio, a suavizante de ropa, aviso de ayer. Supe que la ciudad rebalsa de palmera, no estoy a favor del verano. Tómenme la palabra, segura no puedo moverme, jamás les mentiría. La voz que tengo adentro es un mosquito gordo, borracho de mi sangre que vuela, tonto. Trato de aplaudirlo hasta la muerte, pero no me deja dormir. Está oscuro, no lo veo, pero lo escucho. Y toda la metáfora, arrastrada hasta lo último que quede, hacia ir a otra metáfora, o a cualquier otra figura retórica o dispositivo de reconstrucción, o de evasión, o de creación, para después jugar con todo el peso de esa voz minúscula, amplificada, si lo que escribí está bueno. Si yo debiese en verdad no contarle nada a nadie nunca, tanto que no me lo conté a mí misma, y acá estoy, que no sé qué fue lo tan terrible que me pasó, pero algo me pasó. Si sos resiliente en un bosque desierto, ¿se escucha? Ahora tengo miedo de haber perdido el sentido del humor justo cuando hay espacio para lo que me hace reír. Por esta cerradura espío ese día en que no va a ser necesario recitar el nombre de mis amigues en mantra constructor, columna vertebral de la que sostiene que es mentira la mitad de lo que creo, ni untarme con aceite en las orejas. Me voy a cuidar solo de la amenaza y voy a poder diferenciar núcleo de espacio vacío, cicatriz de herida, y el dínamo que tengo adentro dejará de frustrarse al ver cómo la nueva generación administra la energía. Tanta paja. Qué cansada estoy. Será la fantasía de la arqueología propia, apasionada, pero desapegada. No es lo mismo cavar sin gris en la fosa. Uno de estos días voy a poder procesar toda esta mierda inmunda y voy a ser imparable a nivel persona feliz y compleja y ser finalmente bailarina. Cuando el hielo estaba delgado y el campo estaba minado, yo sé que estabas ahí, protegiendo a la nena que yo fui y que ahora te suplica que te vayas a dormir. Es hora de descansar, es hora de descansar. No es perfecto, más bien todo lo contrario, pero ya no es necesario que me cuides así. Y no es de ingrata, pero ya está decidido. Este ya no es tu dominio y te tenés que ir a dormir.
te entrego a la siesta y me voy a buscar el error garrafal. ¿Qué es lo peor que podría pasar? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you so much. The last poet on stage. Should I call you out for you to stay? Sisleko Mashinende.
How can you so few when you're making so much noise? I couldn't see you feel like 200 people is wonderful. Clap yourself.
Beyond water and bones, beyond blood and breath, the body is the soul's physical address. We are light, cocooned in skin, sun children growing in the universe's womb. Each of us is a star draped in human form. Our bodies are God's couture, fleshy fabric dripping color and culture on a cosmic catwalk. This body is too much for too many, and not enough to be right for those left to decide what beauty is. TV and magazines do not understand the symmetry between design and purpose. A masterfully crafted machine created to serve as witness to our evolution. All that we are, all that we have been, all that we can and will ever be is housed in a sanctuary of skin. No thought escapes the body. No emotion eludes the body. This is my home, my transport, my support, my friend. So when the world renounces my beauty, I reply, the landscape of the body cannot be seen by the eye. My skin knows me by heart. When I laugh, thunder rumbles, remixing pain into song. Moonstones sparkle in my smile, and I know that I need the darkness as much as it needs me to be a star. And when I cry, rain falls from my eyes, never touching the ground. My waters disappear to join the air, and I know that my heart is everywhere. The roads in my face will tell you that I have withstood sandstorms and held the eye of the hurricane with my stare. These arms have hugged the wind. These hips have carried boulders, birthed new lives, and blessed the gazes of their beholders. This heart is a rock, melting when moved, solidifying in sorrow. This mind is mining gems whose brilliance courses through oceans to wash up on the riverbeds of the worthy. Work is my domain. Beauty is my inheritance. Skin is my shelter. When I love, I give all that I am. 4 barrels of water, 3 slices of fire, 2 pounds of earth bound together by air in a house of skin. There is love in washing over experiences. There is love in offering libations at the altar of the self. There is love in these hands. Inhale beauty, exhale discipline. Inhale sun, exhale African. Inhale memory, exhale touch. Inhale, protection. Exhale, love. I believe the soul is crafted by this physical terrain. And every string remembers us. They call us by our names. I believe that we are fashioned by the fragile balance between love and pain. When your thread breaks, do you piece it together? Or do you fight change and remain the same? The threads that bind us to our dreams, the threads that lead us to our goals, the threads with which we weave our dreams, the threads that tie us to our fears, the needles that pierce our hearts with sorrow, the threads that link us to our pasts, the threads we climb to reach our futures, the threads we break in violent acts, the threads that bind us. When your thread breaks, do you piece it together? Or do you fight change and remain the same? We've come to the edge. Don't stare at the precipice too long. After all the bets are hedged, the future's fabric belongs to the hearts of the strong. The ledge is scary. Our legs are weary. And the fall to the bottom is long. How do you rise when you've never flown before? How do you believe in wings that are half formed? Quilted wings are made of discarded scraps. We sew the shards of forgotten memories into a mental map. One that disarms the limbs of envy every time it attacks. One that propels us into flying forward when the wind forces us back. We are heading towards the exploding star that heralds the end of days. We're shedding the traps of ill-fitting norms, experimenting with the mind's form. When you break form, we have entered the time when work is love, and love is a product of play. These are the hours to reach for what is worth rising for. These are the hours when visions are made. These are the hours that every human being can create. These are the hours when the past is a shape-shifting canvas, and today is ours to make. These are the hours when choice cannot be denied. Responsibility is a dare we take. These are the hours when the lines of lies are no longer concealed. The cloak of smoke is exposed to be fake. No one stands up for those who choose to take a stand. No one holds you or consoles you. No one grabs your hand. All you get is what was gotten by those who've gone before you. One single silken strand. The pearl of owning that you dived into what had to be done. You listened to your heart's command. Everywhere you go, there are bones lining the bottom of the ocean floor. Twisted rope, rotting flesh, dead hope. Click, click, says the camera. You keep asking for more. Everywhere you go, bones like a fabric, they tie you into knots. Not love, you can't have it. You wear them like a cloak. Bones, my belonging, you love the grip of fear. Not love, you can't have it. Burnt Bones fill the eyes, minds of the children. You serve them hell as life ignites veins in the stitches, burnt bones on their knees, begging for forgiveness. Click, click, says the camera. This is survival. This is business. Bones queued up, single file, papers ready. Bones at the border. This is business. Money heavy. You love the taste of bullets. Minds of the children. You love the cut of borders like your own hands stitched them. You filthy little faggot. Bones snapping in the mouth. You crazy black bitch. You chew the bones. You spit them out. Bones between books. Books become laws. Bones fill these streets. You chew them up. You spit them out. Bones of twisted ropes pulling millions to the shore. Bones breaking over me. You chew them up. You spit them out. And you keep asking for more. What happens to black boys who go missing? Do we even call it missing, or do we just say he is gone? What happens to boys who hide in their minds, who run across borders, who live in dimensions that should have remained in the womb? What happens to boys who are unwanted? What happens to the boys who learn to die inside their skins the day they learned what their fathers had done to their mothers? What their mothers had done to themselves, what they are made of, pain like a Rubik's Cube, changing face, but not form. Teaching boys to pray to God every time they get an erection makes boys who bomb girls for virgins in heaven. Teaching boys to lie to girls every time they get an erection makes boys who bomb girls, makes Earth a hellish heaven. Gaia is a woman getting raped by her own children every day. Her pussy is the center of hurricanes, not the eye. Crosses and bones at the bottom of the sea are people we call foreigners. When the gifted enter the sea, they find their own ready to teach them. You refuse your identity as water. Teachers rise. Claim your streets as oceans. Wash your cities in fire. Minds stop menstruating. The skies won't release their tides. We wake up inside the same day. The long death past a noose. The morning godlike is just a show with a sponsor. Who's paying for the sun to show up every day? If that nigga works for free, then fuck him because I can't. Who will feed the babies and the corpses that tend to them? They stopped touching dirt. They started touching me. They say you have to let go of your story, but first you have to know that it is there in the blood and in the body, in the food and in the sea, in the goddess that is fighting a war in me, in the twisted asana, in the depths of shame, in the wailing birds that give songs their names, in the knotted hairs, in the wild untamed, in the peace beyond pleasure at the water's edge. Mama's going viral. Mama's screen shuffles faster than hashtags invented by Black women who turn tech into culture daily. Boardrooms and bedrooms are battlefields. What's today's share price for Mama? Mama's the only profitable stock. Mama's baby is 5 years old, mining coltan in the Congo. Mama's foster children's root chakras never healed. Mama's who George Floyd called out to when home is a dangerous place. How does Mama lock down? They pushed Mama into government for the numbers. Mama's on the evening news, talking like a man now. Mama calls it power moves. Mama's war is the ocean. The refuse in Mama's belly, the money in Mama's mouth, the melting ice caps releasing variants, Mama's heating up, Mama's a pissed off hellscape. Mama's last born is 5 years old, suckling data on YouTube to feed the family. Mama wonders how bell hooks didn't live to see 70. Or why Winnie didn't live at least as long as Nelson. Mama is Shelja Patel, Mona El, Stella Nyanzi, and Asata Shakur writing on the edge of the blade. Mama plays hopscotch on national borders. Mama's ungovernable terrain. Mama's death's favorite lover. Mama's Henrietta Lacks' blood in the vaccines they won't share. Mama's comorbidities of 4C hair, commodified fertility, and soil so rich, Mama can't own it. Mama's working hard to buy herself back. Mama's in her overdraft, paying anti-black tax. Mama's talking to the therapist in her mind about Auschwitz, Palestine. Mama's work keeps everyone alive, but they won't call Mama a genius. They made Mama famous and acted like it was a substitute for being free. Atlas, what do you know about carrying the world? Mama's war makes myths out of men. Life from man's ribs, lies from men's pens, so that we would never look at Mama and call her God. What indestructible substance is a woman's heart made of? The heart must be a vulva. Bleeding, stretching, contracting, connecting, fertile, infertile, birthing, dying with each lost lover, orgasm, and unborn child. Life hands us these hearts without insurance. At the heart of owning property is owning women. Neither land, nor sea, nor sky, animal, plant, patent, or crown can be owned without conquering pussy. Once, we made love as the seasons make rains and harvests unowned, when we worshipped sun, moon, wind, stones, and stories. Respectability and forgiveness are concepts sold to niggers and women so that we do not fight for power with the same ferocity with which power is taken from us every waking day. There is a cross burning between your legs. They sell Jesus as a placebo, as if a revolutionary spiritual master would ever endorse pay-as-you-go churches or the asinine bullshit done daily in God's name. You die slowly, making life easy for what is killing you. 2, this is not the motherhood of pink and blue ribbons and fluffy toys. This is not an ad for women who worry more about washing powder than they do about finances. This is not an exaltation of asexual mammies who only know dicks in darkness that won't claim them in daylight. I am not a nurse, maid, whore, teacher, quasi-spiritual, order to aid, who will slowly comfort you into truths you cannot accept. How long have you been fucking your mother? Sideways, over and above the myth sold to girl children of baby dolls that never cry and Barbies that breathe without genitals. I waited for Prince Charming to save me for so long I forgot to be my own hero. I will teach my children to believe in opposites. If you love yourself, they will hate you. If you can live in their world, you are dying. If you chase their approval, you will hate yourself. If he hits you, hurts you, hurls your heart against the wall, it is because he does not understand the relationship between blood and consequences. It's not your job to teach him. Nobody claps for martyrs. They will build a shrine upon your name and say they did it in your name. Rather go mad. Because this 3D world is just an asylum for truth tellers.
Wow, very nice. So this is the close of first night of the Poetry Africa Festival. Thank you for coming through. So, as you have seen outside their vendors, this is part of the support that we give to vendors to actually come through to the space. And please can you support them as well? There's coffee outside, there's some burgers as well. And most of all, there's some jazz music. So let's just chill for a bit as we exit the door. Thank you so much for coming through. Have a lovely day.